This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we're talking about the power of voluntary celibacy until you've achieved what it is that you desire to achieve. Because I've got experience. I've got years of suffering behind me in order to prepare you to escape that suffering and to prepare yourself to live a life better lived. And also, obviously, I don't regret a thing about my life because this has been my life journey in order to make me who I am today. And you are going to have your own life journey. However, wouldn't you rather take the experience of the elderly and then apply it to your life so that you can set it up in a different way so that you can help more people? So you can have more freedom, so you can have more happiness and more ability to focus on those things that need to get focused on instead of drowning in all of the things that happen once you get a wife and 3 kids. I'm talking to guys in general about the distraction of chasing women at all during this early process in your life. And I'm assuming that you have big dreams and goals and that you want to achieve them as soon as possible so that you can enjoy your life and also tackle bigger and bigger and bigger problems as you continue on this journey. Let's briefly look at what it takes in order for you to create, let's say, $1 million on your bank account within a certain amount of years, or to achieve even a bigger goal in the future. What does it require? One word, it requires momentum. You require momentum in order to achieve any massive, huge goal. And that momentum only comes from one thing. It is consistency. Consistency in showing up daily and continuously for a long period of time. Every single day. Being consistent eventually will create momentum and thereby the exponential growth curve that comes along with success and that allows you to succeed and achieve all of the dreams and goals that you've set for yourself. All of them. Abundance in every single category of life. Consistency requires something called focus. Follow one course until successful. But what if you have, let's say, 5 or 6 or 7 different aspects of your life that you're trying to massively create abundance in? If you try to do it at the same time as you're trying to fire up the momentum and consistency that is required for you to achieve your monetary goals, you're going to jinx some of those goals. Let's look at the example of having a wife and 3 kids as an example. How easy is it for you to be consistent, continually consistent and focused and disciplined and putting in massive efforts in your business as an entrepreneur when you've got 3 kids and you've got sleepless nights going on a constant, continuous basis? How easy is it to massively build your business when your wife is calling to you 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times a day telling you to come home because she can't handle this all on her own? Everything requires time and money. And what about your health? And what about this? And what about that and the other? You understand that the more bogged down with logistics you become, the more you take on problems too quickly in your teenage years and in your 20s, the more your life is going to suck. Because you're not being focused on the thing that will solve everything else for the rest of your life. And that's money. Some of the guys that are watching this video will say something like, but you've got a family that gives you motivation to work hard. It's completely the opposite, dude. It's actually motivation to work less. Because you don't want to go out and make those sales calls. You don't want to go out and make those meetings happen. You don't want to go downstairs and make videos. You don't want to do anything because you're tired. You've got all of these things happening and so many demands that makes it so that you're like, oh my gosh, another day has come. Yet I'm fired up outside my brain, but you got to understand how much more fired up I could be if I right now was not only helping the important 2,000 subscribers on my channel, but was helping millions of people all at the same time because of the network and because of the capacities, because of the momentum that I had created in the first 3 to 4 to 5 years of my business career. The stupidest thing a man can do in his teenage years and in his 20s is to involve women into his life. It will distract you. It will be a massive distraction. And some people might say, just like my mother, all work and no play makes Jack and Joseph a dull boy. Man, I completely disagree with that statement. The fact is, once you begin to learn that work is play, you end up getting into the zone of enjoying every single moment of your life because life involves work. If you're going to establish anything worthwhile, if you're going to establish a legacy, an abundance in all aspects of your life, is going to require work. So then you might as well begin to enjoy that work. And if you enjoy that work, then that work is play. And then you can mix it up a little bit by doing things that you've never tried and done before because you've got the money to do it. Like, for example, jumping out of an airplane or bungee jumping or driving a snow scooter. You can make those into fun variety activities that you do once in a while because you've never tried it before. Or you can make it into a business activity by going with business partners and business colleagues and friends and enjoy those things. You understand? Work and play are supposed to be synonymous to each other. And if you get into that mindset early in life, now you're beginning to discover that women should not be part of that kind of play that early in your life. And you're like wondering, why not? Because women have so many more problems than men do. And the key to business is solving people's problems. And the more effectively you are able to solve people's problems, the richer you become. But the moment you've got your most important customer, your sexual partner's problems to solve, you now are diversifying. The best thing you can do for yourself is to not involve them at all. Because you won't have to worry about the breakups. You won't have to worry about the heartache. You won't have to worry about her in-laws. You won't have to worry about going on dates and making her feel special. And you don't have to worry about unwanted pregnancies and abortions and STDs and all those things that come with it. You will simply be focusing on the one problem that will solve all other problems for the rest of your life, which is to become a business owner and figure out your money situation. And not only your money situation in terms of a job or an income, but solving it in terms of developing passive income that works whether you are present or not. There are so many different ways to create passive income in today's world. And we have more opportunities now than thousands of years that have been in the past of people who've struggled to get one coin enough for food, where we're here able to create millions of dollars within just a few years' time because we've got the internet, we've got technology, we've got the opportunity of tapping into social media in a way that no one has ever been able to do before. You can do that. It doesn't take you 50 years to become a millionaire. And if it does, you're doing something wrong. For a guy who sets the goal of becoming a dollar millionaire with $1 million in his bank account, dude, man, it doesn't take more than 10 years for anyone. You might be the ugliest guy out there, the one with the least people skills, most introverted guy that hates people, and it will still not take you more than 10 years if you actually manage to stay away from women for that period of time. And I'm talking about staying away from women. I'm talking about not watching what you usually watch online. All of that stuff. You just don't do it. You retain your power and you go out there and you make it happen and you serve other people. You serve people that have money, and then you reap the rewards for that service, and all else will fall into place. When it comes to passive income, look at it this way. Your goal is to develop time and money freedom forever. If you think about it, the moment you get hitched with the girl and the moment she becomes pregnant, time and money freedom disappears out of your life. Because you now have commitments, you now have responsibilities that as an integral guy, you need to make sure is working out. You can't be taking risks anymore. You can't massively use all of your savings to start a business that you really believe will take off. Because it might not. But if you are not involved with women, if you don't have any kids, you can take those risks and you can live in a garage, you can live on your friend's couch, you can live in your office, you can live anywhere and not pay rent. And literally live on so little money because you believe in your cause, in your project, in your business as much as you do. And like Malcolm Gladwell says in his book Outliers, it takes 10,000 hours in order for you to become elite and world-class in anything, which includes entrepreneurship and mastering the money game. If it takes you 10,000 hours, we're talking now simply you working full-time for 5 years, full-time being 8 hours a day, and you can work a lot more than that in 5 years' time. And if you use those 5 years to set up your passive income, and you actually manage to get to, let's say, $10,000 in net passive income per month after taxes, that will have saved you another at least minimum 50,000 hours of giving away your time for money in the future. I'm giving moderate numbers now, but approximately those guys who go inside the workforce and have a job for the rest of their life, they will work approximately 60,000 hours, not on their business and legacy, but in a job, building someone else's business. If you simply take 10,000 hours, avoiding women, that huge, biggest distraction in your life right now, and you focus those 10,000 hours on achieving business goals, you'll have saved another 50,000 hours. That's insane. And you can do that because you've got time and money freedom when there's no one else but you. And the reason why you're motivated to take action right now and make it happen in the next 10 years is because you will eventually want to have the women of your dreams and establish that family, that long-standing family that's going to be with you the rest of the journey. And by that time, you actually have the money, so you actually can travel the world, have fun with your family, and enjoy it, and then exponentially make more and more money because you've got the capacity to do so because you're hiring other people to help you on that journey and establishing yourself. You won't have many crisis situations because there's always people to take care of those problems. So the biggest obstacle here would then be loneliness or FOMO, which is fear of missing out. You know, all these women that I've grown up with and now they're basically going to be with other guys, and by the time I'm old enough and I've got the money, they'll basically have been used up because, you know, they've been on the carousel and basically, you know, everyone's been with them and I don't want to have the leftovers. Bro, understand that women's sexual market value peaks at 18 years old. And from there, it just decreases. However, for men, their sexual market value continuously and constantly increases over time. Which means that for a guy to find a girl that's 10 years younger than he is not a big deal when you're 28 years old, 26 years old, or 30 years old. Who knows? But those girls that are 18 years old will be absolutely amazing. You're not missing out on anything. If anything, you're actually gaining a massive, huge advantage over those guys that are 20, 21 years old and can barely afford having a car of their own, and you're driving around in your Ferrari or Lamborghini. Who do you think the girls are going to choose? You see, if you start out now when you're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old and start chasing women, and you're, let's say, a 5 or a 6 in terms of sexual market value, those girls will have to be less than your sexual market value. However, it is so much easier for you as a man to develop your sexual market value than it will ever be for any women. If you think about it, if you're a 5 right now, let's say you actually manage to bump yourself up a half a point every single year for the next 10 years. If you're really good at it, you can bump yourself up 1 point every single year. In 5 years, if you bump yourself 1 point up, you'll be a 10. If you do half a point each year, you'll be a 10 after 10 years, and that is amazing progress. Which means that at that point in time, if you're a 10, you'll be able to have 8s and 9s and 10s for the rest of your life. Which one would you prefer? Massively building up your business right now, developing the momentum, developing the passive income that allows you to live an amazing lifestyle and have the most beautiful women in your life as time passes on? Or do you want to settle with the lifestyle that you have right now and get the girls that you can have right now who will all depreciate in sexual market value over time and get not prettier, but the opposite? Which one do you want? I'm giving you perspective here. Understand the big picture of how you want your life to be. You want abundance. You want your future women to keep you young. And I can promise you that if you set yourself up financially first and don't care about the loneliness, don't care about the FOMO, as long as you have goals, as long as you have strong financial goals of establishing at least $1 million or at least 10,000 US dollars per month in passive income, now you can begin to investigate learning more about women. And at this moment in time, think about your health. It doesn't take 10 years to build an amazing, fantastic body. If you're doing it on your own, maybe it'll take 2, 3, 4, 5 years. If you've got a personal trainer though, because you've got the money, it'll only take 6 to 12 months to develop the kind of figure that you desire. With the chef and with the personal trainer, anything is possible during 12 months' time. And when it comes to understanding women, at the moment in time, you can get any relationship coach teach you whatever it is that is required for you to attract an 8, 9, or a 10. As long as you've got the money to have them coach you on those subjects. It will also allow you to create abundance in every single category of your life. I cannot stress this enough. Like I said in the beginning, this comes from 10 years of being in a fantastic marriage, a fantastic family, beautiful kids that are absolutely awesome, but I'm not yet a dollar millionaire. And I'm not living in an expensive country. I'm living in one of the cheapest countries in the world. Why would I be doing that? Even though I really like it here, though, it's freaking awesome. But the reason is, I prioritize completely differently than what I recommend you guys to do now. I've learned the lessons. I understand family. I understand kids. I understand relationships. But because I understand the stuff, you don't need to go through the same stuff that I've done. You can actually understand business first and get rid of that money problem once and for all by massively putting down your head and working your butt off smartly the next 3 to 5 years, man. I promise you, your life will be absolutely revolutionary. This is the Men of High Value channel. I'll see you in the next video.